Hey there, thanks for signing in. Welcome to the Picnic Table Ant Chat. We start in half an hour after a bit of feeding in the multi-species tank. See you there. Hey there guys and girls, only 15 minutes left of this feeding before the interview starts. See you there. Hello, everybody. How are you, KB?
I'm all right, you?
Yeah, I'm not bad, thank you.
Good.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Picnic Table Ant Chat. I am your host, Tom from Ants and Rock. Today, I have a guest, KB Ants. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, KB.
Hello, everyone. I'm KB Ants, and I've got the YouTube channel KB Ants, where I do lots of informational videos on ant care and stuff like that.
Brilliant. And thank you for joining me on Boxing Day for this really brilliant special event, stream, whatever you want to call it. Boxing Day special stream, yeah, whatever. So yeah, let's just crack on with the questions. So KB, How long have you been keeping ants, and how did you get into it?
Probably been keeping them about 5-6 years. And it all started when I was a kid. Obviously playing out in the back garden, and seeing Elaseus niger colony in the slabs on the back garden, and I was just obsessed ever since then. And then it wasn't until about 5 or 6 years ago when I realised that ant keeping was an actual thing, and it's a hobby, and that's when I jumped into it.
Yeah, that's fair. Can I ask where you learned all your knowledge? Because you know so much about so many different species. Like, it just blows my mind.
When I was a kid, because obviously I was really interested in ants and other insects, my mum used to buy me like books on them for my birthday and stuff like that. So growing up from about 5 years old, I was reading books on different ant species and stuff like that, and that's kind of where it got sunk into my head.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like I say, you literally know so much. And like, how many ant species do you currently own? A lot, I expect.
It's quite a few. Off the top of my head, I'd probably say about 10 different. But I have had to, get rid of a few and stuff like that with, me being busy and stuff. But
yeah,
I've still got quite a few, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, your care videos are just top notch all the way. I always watch them whenever I get a new species. I always make sure I'm watching your care videos.
Cheers, mate.
No, that's all right. I'm just plugging in a new wire because that one's not doing its job properly. Last thing I want is for everything to just cut out and die.
No.
No. Have you got a favourite ant species of what you've kept? Because you've kept so many.
I like them all for different things, but I've got to say my favourite is probably going to be probably Tetramorium bicarinatum, just because of how quickly they've grown. Probably a close second will be all Fidolis. Pretty much all of them are really interesting. But yeah, they're my top two at the moment.
Okay, that's fair. So really small ants, really.
Yeah. To be honest, I prefer small ants over like Camponotus and stuff like that. The only Camponotus that I really enjoy keeping is probably Nicobrensis, but that's because they're really fast growing, and every time you look at them, there's always something new in the nest. There's lots of larvae and pupae and stuff like that. It's just really interesting.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I've always struggled with Camponotus. I am trying again with them, but like every time I've had them, I've got 2 colonies of Hercs. They've done nothing. I've lost several colonies of Campos. They're difficult, aren't they? But I do like the live ones. Yeah. I mean, if I could get the Hercularis going, they are massive, and they get majors as well, which would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, they are nice. They're just slow growing, aren't they? That's the thing.
Yeah,
you've got to have a lot of patience with them.
Yeah, lots of patience, and I think to be honest, my household's just too loud for them because Camponotus are really sensitive to sound, aren't they?
Very, very. Yeah, so any vibrations from kids or anything like that is going to set them off and disrupt them, isn't it, really?
Yeah, that's it. I've got a reminder there from Stein just to say congratulations on your 1,000 subscribers. Well done for that. I was going to mention it later on. No, well done. That's a really good achievement.
Like, I was over at Moon when it happened.
Yeah, I bet. So, have you got a dream species of ants that you wish to keep?
Probably at the moment any type of leaf cutter ants.
Okay.
Obviously, I've been watching Ant Holifer and Ants Hood and stuff like that, and seeing their videos, and they just look amazing. Especially the Wakushi pods that they're in.
Yeah.
They look really good, and they seem to like simplify the keeping of them, making it a lot easier. So yeah, probably leaf cutters.
Yeah, that's fair. Same thing. Like those pods just look really well put together, aren't they? They make the whole leaf cutter thing so much easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I think he's going to be releasing them properly soon.
Yeah.
I need to actually speak to him and get one for myself just to have a look at it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm going to get some leaf cutters to put in them. They're just so expensive. That's the problem, isn't it?
Oh yeah, they are really expensive. Really expensive. I think if I was going to get any, I'd probably get them from Ant Antics.
Yeah.
I know he really looks after his leaf cutters when he's got them, ready to be sold. I'd probably get some from him, to be honest. But yeah, they are really expensive.
Yeah, very expensive. How much would a basic leaf cutter ant setup cost? Thinking of get. Shane is asking how much a basic leaf cutter setup would cost.
I mean, there's not that many people who sell the setups, really, is there? Obviously, the Wakushi's got them, but obviously they're not out for sale at the minute, are they?
Yeah, no.
So I've got no idea.
I think he's working on something.
Yeah.
But no, there's not a massive amount on the market.
I know Ant Lab used to, I don't know if he still does, Ant Lab used to sell them, didn't they? But then the Colonialist did a review on it and said it was no good, so...
And there is one more. Ants... can't remember. That big European one, Ant Store. I think they have something.
Yeah.
But obviously that's, again, really expensive stuff. For a basic setup, it's probably quite expensive, to be honest, Shane. I wouldn't want to venture a guess. The best thing to do is probably wait till Wakushi releases that new pod setup that he's doing and probably get one of them. That is one of my advances. Hello, Ants England. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Ants England.
Have you used Ants Antics much? I haven't used them before.
Yeah, I've used them a few times. I mean, their packaging is next level. When you open it, it's like it's done with so much care. It's unreal. It's like opening a pasta parcel. There's that many layers to it, and it's just really well protected. It's really nicely laid out. Obviously, the sugar snaps that he sells are awesome. The ants love them. But yeah, I've been with him a few times. It's really good. I've never had a bad experience ever.
That's the main thing. That's all we needed to hear, really. Never had a bad experience. Those sugar snaps, I've always used the Ants Lady one. Do you think they're different at all, or are they going to be the same?
I think they'll probably be the same. I don't know. I've not looked at the ingredients, but I've used the Ant Lady one and I've used the sugar snaps, and the response didn't seem to be much different. Not noticeably anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I imagine they're probably the same.
I mean, I am going to place an order with them soon because they're only over in Wales and they're having their what do you call it, convention. So I am gonna be getting over there at some point. So I expect I will be getting products off them
as well. So I'll probably see you there.
Yeah, I expect a lot of us content creators are going to be there, to be honest.
Yeah.
We've got another question from Shane. Thank you very much, Shane, for keeping them coming. What are your thoughts on Solenopsis invicta and Geminata, and have you kept them?
I've never kept them. One reason is just because of the sting and how fast they grow, to be honest. I probably won't be keeping anytime soon, especially when we're having a baby on the way, because the last thing I want is them to escape and God forbid, sting the baby. You know what I mean? I think if you keep them, you just got to be really, really cautious. Probably, make sure they don't escape. But yeah, they do look awesome. Obviously, they're amazing species. It's just if circumstances change, then maybe I would in the future. But I've never kept them in the past.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not one that really I've looked into it in the past, and every time I just thought, no, it's not for me. I don't want. It's too much responsibility. Like you say, if they get out or anything. I mean, I've never had issues with the bullet ants, but they can't climb the glass very well. Generally, I look if they can, like, how easy they can escape if they're going to be stinging, you know. I just think Solenopsis geminata and Invicta, they're just so overpowering. I think it's the right word, you know. It can just become too much too fast.
Definitely.
I don't want that. And, like, I think it kind of takes the fun out of ant keeping a bit.
You've always got to be on your toes with them, haven't you? Making sure they're not escaping and keeping up with the protein and everything else. It would probably just take, like you said, the fun out of it because you're constantly stressing about it, which it shouldn't be like that, should it really?
No, definitely not. Like I like to enjoy my ants and, like, you know,
well, like downtime, isn't it? When you go and see your ants, you're relaxing. Obviously enjoy it. It's just downtime, isn't it? You don't want to be on your toes all the time.
No, that's it. That is exactly it. It's not for stressing us.
No.
Have you got any future plans for your channel? Now you're at 1,000 subscribers, you're going to explode out. So
never know. You never know. I want to do a lot more collaborations with other YouTubers, stuff like that. Probably you will be one of them. And I want to do a lot more care videos of different species. That's one of the main things. And I'm currently making my own ant room, so I'll probably be documenting that and putting that on the channel as well. So there's a few things going off.
That's good. That sounds good. I like the idea of a whole ant room. I need to get, like, my ant corner turned into an ant room, but then I don't know. I need to get rid of the kids. That's what we need to do. Sell the kids and put more ants in there.
Sounds like a plan.
We got a question here from Ants England. How big are your Campo feds for the
Fedschenkoi?
Thank you.
they probably about 40, 50 workers now. They're growing slowly, but they're still happy and healthy. Yeah.
Okay. Are they ones which hibernate? I don't know those ones.
I don't think so. Off the top of my head, I don't think they do. But they're the ones with, like, the clear gaster. So when you give them, like, sugars, like coloured sugars, they glow up that colour. Nice. They're a nice looking species.
Yeah, I like it when the honeypots I have do that. I checked in on them the other day, which I've only done, like, that would be the second time I've looked at them since I got them back in March.
Yeah.
They're doing really well, actually. There's loads of repletes and loads of larvae and whatnot. I think they are semi-hibernating, but they're still coming out and foraging a little bit. Yeah, but they're doing really well. And like you say, like, looking at the liquid in their gasters, so cool, isn't it? So cool.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
Yeah. I saw a video, it was ages ago, and it was, like, really, really bright blue liquid on one side, really bright red on the other or something.
Yeah.
And they had, like, really close up, and it was great, like, camera footage.
Yeah.
I sat there for about an hour watching that, just feeding.
They are really good when you watch them doing that.
Yeah. I think that's one of my favourite things to watch with ants, is just watch them feeding and watching their gaster fill up. Even with the Polyrhacus dives, you can see them come out small and, like, watch them go back, like, twice the size. It's really cool. I wish I could do that. Like, I could eat twice as much Christmas food. It would be amazing. More
I've got too much already.
Yeah. I mean, I've eaten so much Christmas food this year. I think I need more. That's the thing. Like, when I start eating, I get more and more hungry. I don't know why. Okay, I've got a question here. What is the ant species that you want the most, but you'll never be able to keep?
Probably weaver ants, the green weaver ants.
Okay, the proper, yeah.
I reckon, obviously, they're amazing, but to house them is a real pain in the backside, so I don't think I'll ever be able to keep them, but it is a dream species.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. I've
Yeah,
seen quite a few people try with them, and I
yeah,
won't say they've done very successful colonies. I've seen a few like carry on going and survive, but they're
yeah.
not exploding out successful. You know
They're
what I
never
mean?
fully happy, are they? Really?
Yeah, that's it. And like, I don't know if I'd want that. It is a lot of stress again. They're very stressful
Yeah,
ants.
yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, I see my ants in sort of tiers and like leaf cutters and weaver ants and all of that sort of lot are top tier ants. And then you got
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? All of that lot are just stress.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. We've already had, so it technically counts. So I'm just reading comments at the same time. Have you got any advice for first time ant keepers?
Start off with a native common species. That'll probably be my thing. Probably either Lasius niger or Lasius flavus, either of them. If you're from the UK, obviously. If you're not, whatever's abundant in your area,
Yeah,
that'd be my like top tip for a beginner.
that's
And do
fair.
plenty of research.
Yeah, lots and lots of research.
Yeah.
Have you got a preference between Lasius niger and Lasius flavus? I've always gone with niger, but I've got my
Mm.
first flavus colony and they're awesome.
Yeah, they are good. I think that obviously they both have different personalities. Flavor seems to be a bit more timid and slower growing. Niger a bit more like aggressive, and they
Yeah,
grow a bit faster. But I think that equally they're both nice to keep. I think Flavus are good because they're really easy to care for because they're not trying to escape all the time.
yeah,
Obviously they grow slowly, stuff like that. So yeah, I think they're both good. I've got both, so I
yeah,
do like them both equally, really, for
that's
different
fair.
reasons.
See, with my flavus, I'm really tempted to put them into a natural setup because obviously they love to dig and live underground. I
Yeah,
just think it would be pretty normal for them. I
yeah.
don't know, like, is yours in a natural setup or are they in a acrylic sort of?
They're in the Wakushi Mercury nest at the moment.
Okay,
They're in that, and
okay,
they're doing really well. They're growing
right,
like crazy. It is I think it's a 5 queen colony, to be honest. But
right,
the brood pile on it is crazy. They are growing. They're probably the colonies I've had in the past. The fastest growing out of them all. Like all
right.
the flowers colonies I've had in the past.
Yeah.
They seem to be doing really well. So yeah, can't fault it.
Now, you say they're 5 queen. One thing I know about flavors is the queens, they'll tolerate each other, but they don't spend time with each other in the nest. Is that true?
Yeah. They tend to stay away from each other, but they've not killed each other yet. And I got them from this nuptial flight. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. They should be okay. They should be
yeah,
okay. I mean, if we got them from this nuptial flight, they've probably got their second round of workers by now.
yeah,
Maybe. Yeah. So they're probably doing quite well. I'm doing a
yeah,
great
yeah.
job. So I'm just reading as well. Goliath has picked up 500 workers. Okay. Do you have any really bad experiences or stories that you want to share? Have you dropped an ant or like dropped the whole colony or anything?
No. I've been out at work before, and the missus has phoned me up and said that there's ants running around all my ant rack. And there's literally thousands. It was the Tapinoma sessile,
Right.
all over the place. That was probably the biggest escape I've ever had from the ants, and that was probably the worst thing I've ever had because there's no way of me catching them all because they're only tiny little things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a real pain. That was. I had to rush home.
Yeah. So what did you do? Did you get a Hoover out or something?
I had to, unfortunately. That's why it was one of the saddest things for me because I didn't want to hoover them up, you know what I mean? But I pretty much had no choice. So
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, when I went to Southampton, a good like 2 hours on the train away from where I am, I got a phone call from the wife saying the Polyrhacus dives were escaping, and same sort of thing. Like there was nothing I could do. Luckily, they escaped and they nested in like a load of we had like a delivery box and it had some shredded paper in it, and they went and nested in the shredded paper. So we just put them straight back into the tank and sorted it out like that.
Oh, that was lucky.
Yeah, bit of a nightmare. But I learned that they don't actually go very far from the tank because they like the warm temperature. When they leave the tank, it's too cold for them, so they soon go back. But it's a good way of like, because the wire from the pump, they always have access to that. They can leave anytime they want.
Yeah.
But they just don't, like, I think because they've got so much, they're happy, right? They're not looking to move.
Yeah.
But the only times that they do escape, that time that they escaped when I was in Southampton, the pump basically backfired and flooded the pond. So the whole substrate got too wet, which made the nest the wrong humidity or whatever. So basically the tank was wrong. So they went to move out, which, is a good indicator for me that something's not working in the tank.
Yeah, definitely. And smart ants.
Yeah. I mean, ants are so smart. They're very, very smart.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. What is the most valuable things that you've learned since starting 4, 5, 6 years ago?
Probably patience. Definitely patience. To have the patience for all the different types of species and not rush into moving them into bigger nests or anything like that. Only do it when the ants themselves are ready and stuff like that. I'd probably say that's my biggest thing that I've learned.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, even I did it myself for like, I don't know, probably my first 20 million colonies. Even now, I'm still tempted to move them into a nest and just kind of hope they'll be all right. I've got Myrmica rubida at the minute. They've had a little bit of a die-off. I want to get them into a small founding nest just so I know it's not like the test tube's gone mouldy or whatnot. I don't want to move it because they should be hibernating.
Yeah.
I don't want to disturb them, but I have seen like a few dead bodies start piling up now. So I want to put them into a nest, but I don't think they're big enough for a nest. And it's a hard choice. It's a hard choice.
It definitely is, yeah. It's one of them tricky situations, to be fair.
Yeah, that's it. Have you got any new ants coming to the channel over the next year?
I've just got a Pheidolinoda 2 queen colony.
Okay.
I got some advice off Ants Hood about them on what's the best nest and stuff to keep him in, obviously, because he's got a really well-established colony. Really good colony. I've got a 2 queen colony of them. They're doing really well. I've put them in basically a tubs and tube setup until they get big enough to go into the nest. So obviously it's just easier to feed them and stuff like that. But to them. And I want to get some Pheidole megacephala as well.
Okay.
That's probably another one on the list. Other than that, I don't know of any more that I'm planning on getting.
Okay, that's fair. So you did say you like Pheidole, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's fair. I've got a few different things coming to the channel, but I think I've got a little experiment that I'm going to do. I've been talking to Ants R Us about keeping camper notice with acorn ants.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that before?
Yeah, I've heard that obviously the acorn ants are really docile and tiny, and a lot of other ant species are just totally like passed by them without no aggression and stuff like that. I think I've seen it before somewhere. I can't remember where. It was a long time ago, but I'm sure someone had them in a like a tank with another species and they got on fine.
Yeah,
they sort of avoid each other. Well, the acorn ants avoid the bigger ants.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm thinking. Like, I'm going to do. So I'm definitely going to try it. I'm at this point where I don't know whether to do a large outworld with like an acorn inside of it, and then the nest connected up for the campos, or whether to just do a whole natural bioactive setup with an acorn in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my first time keeping acorn ants, so it'll be kind of interesting one for me as it is.
Yeah, I know the acorn ants can be a bugger for escaping. I think they can they escape quite often from what I've heard. But I think a natural setup will probably be good for the acorn and like some sort of Campanotus species.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember which Campanotus species I've got, or acorn ants, but I've got both coming. I've got them coming. I'm definitely going to give it a go, but we'll see how it kind of pans out in the long run. I'm always ready to whip it out into another tank. I've got those tanks.
Yeah.
Much like my vampire crabs. Have you seen my vampire crabs have had babies?
Yeah, I have seen. I've not seen them have babies. No.
Yeah, they've had babies now. So I think they've got at least 2 babies that I've seen, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
But I'm not like I said, I'll have to keep an eye on it, because if I've got like 5 crabs in there now, it's not long until they'll start overrunning everything else.
They are cool, the vampire crabs. They're really cool looking.
Yeah, and like they're really interesting to watch as well. Some of their behaviors. They don't like the ants. They're very scared of ants, which is fair enough. They don't seem that bothered about like the wood lice or anything like that. Like the millipedes don't freak them out either. They're quite happy to walk about everywhere. The other day, actually, the crab climbed up on top of the weaver ant nest and just sat there. Yeah, I was watching, just like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, that's like the worst place to be. But they actually really like to climb, which is quite surprising. Like, I thought they would just be scrambling along the bottom, but they climb quite regularly. Now I've put those sticks in the back, the whole atmosphere of the tank has changed. It's like the beetles are flying, the crabs are venturing higher. It's quite interesting to see all the different behaviours now the tank's changed slightly.
Yeah, well, the crabs must be happy if they're having babies.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Ant Boy UK has just said hello. Hello, Ant Boy UK. Thank you for
hello, you're all right.
We've got quite a few people. I'm just going to say hello to everyone. Hello, Wacky Ant-Man. Hello, Shane. Ants England. Hello, Ants Hood. Ant Ramblings. I think that is almost everyone I can see. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's really awesome to have you all here. Right, where did we get to on the questions?
Hello, Stein.
Yeah, obviously, hello, Stein. We know you're here, buddy. What would you say is the hardest species that you've kept?
Well, I tried to keep the green weaver ants. They were really difficult. I gave them to a friend who's got a lot more time than I have. He's not working and stuff like that, so he can put all this time and effort into them. And obviously they're still going, they're still doing well. A lot better than when they was in my care, because obviously I was struggling to manage going to work and stuff like that, and looking after them at the same time. They need pretty much constant care. The weaver ants. But
is that because of the humidity and stuff?
Say again.
Is that because of humidity or just?
Yeah. Obviously, because they're not native to this country, it's hard to replicate their environment, which was really one of the biggest problems for me, was trying to get it, to us what they'd have it in the wild. It was really difficult.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they need quite a big environment as well, don't they? Quite a big tank.
Yeah, you need a huge tank. Obviously, they need living plants, really. So you need a tank big enough for them to grow and to keep growing without the ants killing them from using the leaves too much. Because obviously, if they use too many leaves and they've got no leaves left, then the plant will die. So you need a big setup for them. Yeah, definitely. I mean, one thing I've noticed about even my weaver ants is they love to pull the leaves in from all sorts of directions. They would rather use leaves than anything else. And like you say, they will kill off the plants quite easily. That's it, innit? They don't last forever once they've made a nest in it. They do die off eventually, don't they? So if the plant's not big enough, the plant's going to die itself.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's quite often that they will like kill off the plant in the wild, then move on and build another nest, and they
Yeah.
almost keep moving,
Yeah, they've got to keep moving, haven't they? As the
Yeah.
leaves on the nest die, then they have to move to another piece
Yeah.
of that tree or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're always moving.
I mean, mine moved in the middle of summer when it was really hot. They moved to a different area of the tank. Obviously, where they were wasn't quite right in that temperature. So, but then they've moved back now, and that what we should call is the temporary nest has just disintegrated and fallen apart. And it's like it was quite interesting. I wanted to like pull it out when it fell off because it just looks like paper.
Yeah. They sort of look like a bee's nest, don't they, sort of thing?
Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching how they construct it, and they do like layer upon layer upon layer. So inside it must be like, I mean, it's sort of like that big, but if you cut it up and stretched it out, it would be massive, huge area.
It'd be nice to be able to get an old one out that they're not using anymore and chop it in half and see what it looks like inside.
Yeah. I mean, they do like metal casts of ant nests, I don't know, in America or somewhere, and they look quite cool. They look like Christmas trees, like you can hang it. Yeah, but I don't know if you can really do it with a weaver ant nest because obviously the material just falls apart.
Well, yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, interesting one. We've got a question from Corporal Troll. Do either of us keep any species from the Western US?
Any US species, I don't think.
Western US, I don't think so. Not at the moment. Going through my head quickly, I don't think so. I've got a lot of European species at the moment.
Yeah.
And Asian.
I have got the Papilloma, and I know they come from the US, but I don't know what part of the US.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm not that good with geography, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
But
I know in the US they call Tapenoma the odorous house ant because apparently I've never done it, but if you squish a Tapenoma, they will smell zesty. So like oranges or lemons, or they smell like that. So they're called the odorous house ant in America. That's the sort of like the nickname.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's quite an interesting one. Is that like a chemical reaction that they give off?
I think it's meant to put predators off. Obviously, they maybe bite into them, and then that smell puts them off, and obviously they stay away then from like nests and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's fair. We've got a question from Antboy UK. How are the Polyrhacus dives doing?
I had to give them to a friend. There was one of the colonies that I had to get rid of, unfortunately, but they was doing well at the time. They got to about 60, 70 workers, I think. But yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
No, they did grow quite well. They only had a single queen, so they did do well, to be honest.
Yeah, that's bad. I think I'm down to 2 queens at the moment.
Yeah. Apparently, eventually they do breed within the nest as well. So
yeah, that's what I'm hoping for next year. I actually I slid the camera down the back and had a look in the back of the nest.
Yeah,
and it's just filled with males. There's got to be at least 100 or 200 male ants in there, and it's like maybe we'll get a queen next year.
Oh yeah,
hopefully.
It's a sausage party at the minute.
Yeah. Which isn't what we want, really.
No, definitely not. Not if you're wanting them to breed.
No. Tom, I would prefer a natural setup for acorn. I have no idea what would be best. Antboy is asking, what is your largest colony now?
My largest will be the Tetramorium bicarinatum.
Okay.
They're probably at about 1,000 workers now, with probably about 50 plus queens I don't know how
Wow.
many queens there are anymore because they've started breeding within the nest. So there's just
Yeah.
loads of them all over the place.
So are they like the worker to queen ratio, because there's more queens, is
Yeah.
there like one queen for every 5 workers sort of thing?
I don't think so. I think there'd probably be a bit less than that, but they're always pumping out new queens. So if I look in the Outworld now, there'll probably be about 50 winged queens in the Outworld.
Okay.
They're always in the Outworld. But yeah, I don't know what the ratio is, but there is a lot.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Because I know with like ghost ants and a few others, they are like that ratio is really high, low,
Yeah.
high, whatever. You know, like their queen to worker ratio is insane. But I think because they don't really value queens as much, I suppose.
No, Monomorium, they're crazy. They are, to be honest.
Yeah.
And obviously, ghost ants, they're tapping over, I think, aren't they? But they're the same. I think they breed within the nest as well.
Yeah. I mean, I had Monomorium and I just couldn't get them going. I went from 3 queens to 2 queens to 1 queen to no queen, and don't know what happened. Don't know.
Yeah.
I was expecting, because of their species, they would just explode out and it would be easy. And but no.
Well, saying that, I thought the same with my with my Monomorium Subopacum. I expected them to boom as soon as I got them, but it's taken them a while to. They've boomed now, and they're a massive colony now. But it did take them a while, and I had a bit of a die off in between. I got them from the Ant Lady, quite a big colony. Then they had this die off, and I thought, bloody hell, what am I doing wrong here? I raised the temperature slightly, and then that was it. They just kicked back into action, and they're massive now.
Yeah, see that, like, same thing. I had Monomorium Pseudopacum from the Ant Lady, and had that die off, and they just never came back from it.
Yeah, I think they're probably, out of all the Monomorium, they're probably the most temperamental. I imagine.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, I definitely struggled.
Yeah.
I've got a question here from my daughter. Her questions are amazing for a child. What do you think makes your channel different from the other ant YouTubers?
I think probably because, mainly I focus on care videos. Obviously, most of ant keeping channels, they keep it more varied. Whereas when I started, I was just mainly care video, maybe an update video, but I just mainly focus on the information on learning how to keep them. I think that's probably what makes me different to every other YouTuber. Yeah,
I completely agree with that. Actually, I like your channel for that, because like I say, you're like my reference point. Like whenever I get a new species, I instantly look on your channel, see if you've got it.
That's what I want, really. I want to give everyone the best experience they can with the correct information on what species they're wanting to keep.
Yeah. I mean, it's worked really well. Do you have like a partnership with people, or do you buy the colonies yourself?
The Ant Lady used to. I used to do the care guides for her, so I'd do them on my channel, and she'd put them on her website, linked to the species I've done a care guide on. And then sometimes I'll just, if I want to do a care guide on a certain species, I'll just buy them out of my own money and just do it. So it's a bit of 50-50, I'd say. That's fair.
Where do you find out your information for the care guides? Do you know it already, or do you go?
Sometimes I know it already. Sometimes it's reference from books that I've got. I've got tons of books at home. You won't believe. And then sometimes I'll have to look at information online. But obviously, you can never be 100% with online information. So I try and cross-reference with different sites to make sure that it all adds up to be right before I put it on the video. Because obviously, I don't want to give out any false information or anything like that.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we thank you for that, because we rely on your information. I'm just going through my list here. If anyone else has any questions, please do chuck them in, and we'll make sure they get asked before the stream ends. Okay, I've got a couple more from my kids, actually. Do you have any other hobbies?
Aquatics.
Okay.
What another like big hobby of mine. I've got 3 aquariums at the minute. I used to have more. I've got 2 aquariums with aquarium shrimp in, so
Nice.
aquatic shrimp. Then I've got aquarium full of guppies, platies. I used to work in an aquatic shop, so it's one of my big hobbies, to be honest. And then other hobbies are probably I play bass guitar and electric guitar, and that's about it really.
I didn't know that you played guitar.
Yeah. I've been playing it since I was about 10.
Are you any good?
Half decent.
Okay. Decent. Well, we'll all ask you to play a song one day in a video.
I'll have to do a Christmas special video next year or something of me playing a Christmas song on guitar.
That would be amazing. That would make my day. Right, so your aquariums, do you have like bioactive aquariums, or are they the fake stuff, or tell us about it?
I have live plants in the aquarium, with the soil, with the aquatic soil or substrate. I've got the aquariums I've got a 100-litre aquarium, then I've got 2 30-litre aquariums.
Okay, cool.
But we've all got live plants in.
Yeah. Do you have to, I don't know a lot about aquarium plants, do you have to put CO2 in there and stuff?
Depends on the plant. Some plants you need CO2 and they won't survive without it, and then others you can get away with just normal aquarium water without CO2.
Okay, that's fair. So I looked into it, and because I was thinking of doing a paludarium at some point.
Yeah.
Just, they always look cool. And it's just so confusing. Like I just couldn't take it in. Although I can read ant stuff, I can learn plant stuff. Yeah. I looked at aquarium and it just went straight over my head. I couldn't work it out.
Yeah. Well, I started with tanks when I was really young, so it was just picking it up over time.
Yeah. I mean, I've only recently started doing the bioactive things a couple of years ago, and I've never, I never went into aquariums yet or anything like that. So I need to learn more clearly. We've got another question from Antboy UK. What's your favourite book on European species?
Which one is it? It's probably the Ants of Britain and Europe book that I've got. That's probably my go-to book. Ants of Britain and Europe.
That's pretty spot on for a book on European species.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't actually own any ant books.
There isn't many out there, to be honest. I had to go to like libraries and stuff like that to be able to pick them up. If you look online, there's not a hell of a lot out there.
Have you ever read Ants Canada book?
No. That's one book I haven't read.
Yeah, no, I haven't either. I just thought I'd ask. Yeah. A question from Shane.
Yeah.
Do you find Myrmica rudigenus hard to keep?
I've never kept that type of Myrmica. The only thing I heard is that they're a bit more docile compared to Rubra. No, I've never kept Ruginodus before. No,
neither have I. Who Ryan has though, hasn't he? Escapes has a colony of them.
Yeah, but I think Ants HQ are selling Ruginodus, I think, at the moment. Okay. I did have a look earlier, to be honest. I was thinking about getting a colony, but I don't know, I was just unsure.
I mean, now's the time to be looking at buying new colonies and equipment, because everyone's doing like Christmas discount, Boxing Day discount, all of that. So,
well, I think Ants HQ are doing 30% off at the minute with the code Boxing Day. Yeah, that's what I thought earlier anyway.
30% off is
Not
fairly decent wedge off, you know.
good that.
Yeah, oh wow. So I just got taken away by a beetle getting like not attacked but bullied by the dives right now. He's not giving up though, I'll give him that. He's determined he's gonna get some dubia roach.
That's
Like
cool.
it's quite surprising that like they do bite the beetles, but they never seem to be that bothered by it. The beetles just
Yeah,
kind of they chuck their ants about sometimes. Sometimes they'll run away, but
yeah.
I know it's quite interesting.
What type of beetle?
The ones that come from Mario worms.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean. I forgot
So
what yeah, I know what you mean.
what I do with them is I chucked like 6 Mario worms in to start with,
Yeah.
and they turned into beetles and like keep it going round.
Oh,
When I
right.
get like more than 10 beetles in the tank, I put
Yeah,
them into a separate unit so I can just breed more worms.
that's
And
a good idea.
I've got hundreds of beetles upstairs just breeding worms, and then
Yeah.
they've all come from this tank though.
Yeah.
With it's free food for the ants,
Well,
makes
that's
my
it.
life cheaper.
Yeah, ideal, really.
Yeah, that's it. I'm no expert, but they have been my easiest ants to keep. So I'm just reading the chat there.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Trying to keep up with it. So
I need another dives colony, Ant Boy UK.
I just got
they're
that.
awesome. I do miss them, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Polyrhacus dives, they're definitely one of my favourites to watch.
Yeah,
Out of
they've got
all the
personality.
ants I've got, they're really interesting. Their behaviours, let's say the way they interact with other insects as well, like
Yeah,
because they're in the multi-species tank, it is really interesting to watch.
yeah,
Like, I've always been amazed that they've never eaten the beetles, just because they eat roaches, they eat everything else.
do they bother
Why?
the isopods or anything like that?
No. I mean, no, they've never been bothered about anything really. Anything that's alive, they'll chase flies.
Yeah,
And moths they'll chase,
yeah,
but they're not really bothered about, say, the millipedes, the beetles, the things that you'd think, oh, they might have a little go at that.
yeah.
It's always really interesting watching the millipedes, in fact, because the millipedes will come down and wrap themselves around the dubia roach, and the ants will back off, sort of like they don't know what's going on. And yeah, it's really interesting to watch. The polys, like, I'm not sure if the dives would back off. I think the dives would tear it to pieces.
They must know somehow that they're beneficial for, the substrate and stuff like that. They must know secretly. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they live quite peacefully. It just amazes me because they've clearly got the ability to tear them apart. If they wanted to kill those beetles, they'd tear them to pieces, wouldn't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's thousands of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll let you know, Ant Boy UK. I think in the new year, I think Tracy from the antlady.co.uk will be stocking Polyrhacus.
Yeah. I mean, it's that awkward time of year when no one's doing much, isn't it?
Yeah, not many people have got much stock at the minute, have they? Because obviously they're waiting until the weather warms up a bit.
Yeah. I mean, March is probably the best time. I've always start looking around March, and then by April, all the good stuff comes in,
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm out of questions, so I'm going to start ending the stream in a minute. Have you got anything else you want to say, KB?
No. I think I've said everything that we need to. But yeah, thank you for having me on. It's been fun.
Yeah, no, it's been absolutely brilliant. Thank you for coming on. Has anyone got any last questions before KB goes? If you have, quickly get them in now. You've literally got about a minute. But yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant having you on, KB. Thank you very much. If anyone hasn't already subbed to KB's channel, there will be links in the description. Obviously, you'll be able to find this on Spotify, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, just about everywhere that I can post it. It will be posted as well. So, Merry Christmas, KB. I'll let you sign off.
You too. Right, thank you, everybody, for having me.
No, thank you, mate. Thank you very much for coming.
See you later.
See you later, buddy. And that's it for tonight. I hope everyone's enjoyed themselves. We've got Formacast coming up next week on the 2nd. And then after that, we will be going every Wednesday and Sunday, carrying on from there. So on the 2nd, we've got Formacast. On the 5th, we have Tarantula-tastic Enclosures. That's going to be a little bit different, not really AMP-based, but it's going to be a really interesting stream. He does some absolutely fantastic enclosures with tarantulas and just some really cool stuff. So it's going to be interesting speaking to him, getting a different perspective about some different inverts and stuff like that. It's just going to be really cool and interesting. And that's on the 2nd, which is a Wednesday. We'll start again 8:30. We'll start with a feeding in the tank, and 9 o'clock the interview will start. And then on the Sunday, we have Paul Moore Art Ant Shop over in America, Canada sort of place. So that's, again, is going to be a really, really interesting, great stream. So make sure you don't miss that one either. As I said before, you can check this all out on Spotify. I upload it overnight, so by tomorrow you can listen to this offline on Spotify if you have that ability. We're also on Twitch, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Also, you can check out my Patreon page, help support this channel, because I've just got some new cameras, new microphones, new just about everything to install. It'll be arriving next week for all this new streams. So if you want to support the channel and help me basically make this channel better, make these streams better, increase the quality, then support me through Patreon. Get on that, hit the little button. I don't know what you do, but sign up to Patreon. There's a few extra hidden perks. You get to be a bit more involved in the channel. You get to make votes about things that aren't in the other Discord. You get special access, early access, all sorts of other things for being a Patreon member. So that's really cool. And it'll be really, really cool to have a couple more Patreon members as well, as this channel is growing in size now. And it would be great to have some more support, to be honest. But that's all from me. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. I'll see you again on the 2nd. And as always from me, I'll see you again soon, out fans.